Hey playa, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you want to learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. If this is your first time watching this stream, we're going to talk all about how to prevent getting friend zoned at the start. And when I say at the start, I mean when you first meet someone that you have a crush on or you like or you want to get to know better. A lot of times, one of the main fears that people tend to have is that they meet someone and they're afraid that they're going to come off too strong or too pushy. And, they don't want to scare that person away, but there's a fear that they may only see you as a friend. And you're afraid that you might end up ruining your chances with them. So we're going to break down the 4 steps that you need to focus on doing to make sure you don't get friend zoned right at the start. Before I do that, though, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. So if you're in the live stream right now, hit the thumbs up on this chat right now and make sure to definitely say hi in the chat. I want to give you guys shout outs. Let's do that right now. I see a bunch of you guys are in here already. Let's get this going. So Jasmine... Oh my God, I keep burping. Jasmine Grace says hi. Yancy says hello. Sprite, Maxie is best. Imani Galloway, Dark Tar Official, Ben Stafford, Atlanta Boy, Ann's 3J, Grayson the Goosebump Kid, Sprite is in here. Hamish is in here. Hamish, good to see you, man. Gears Fan 158, Logan, who did I miss here? Azim the Dream. Azim, good to see you in here as well, man. Jeremiah Crow. Did I see Dono in here? Dono's in here as well. Atlanta Boy. We got a bunch of people in here. Austin is in here. Yancey, 761 Productions, Cringe-tastic, Sam Leach, Nigel Williams, Ben Stafford, Ryan Razon, Jeremiah Crow. I think I'm repeating names now, but that's okay. Yelsha is trash. Football Forever. How's it going, everyone? Good to see you in here. I'm excited for this live stream. We have 4 really important steps to cover. So I want to start walking you through that. But before I get into that, I do want to start this off with a chat poll. Let me get my chat poll graphic set up here. So this chat poll, I want you guys to answer yes or no. Have you ever been friend zoned before? I would write an astounding yes right now in the chat for me, because I've been friend zoned quite a number of times in my life by people that I've liked and had crushes on. And in that moment when I was friend zoned, I didn't really know why or how to deal with it. And it was kind of hard for me because I had these deep feelings and I thought, well, once I express these feelings, this person's clearly going to like me. That's generally how it works. But the reality is that's not how it works at all. The truth of the matter is this, it's that, in order to get someone to like you back, in order to have someone understand that you want to be with them, you have to start establishing that from the get-go. And I'm going to go more into those points in a little bit, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have you ever been friend zoned before? Leave your comment in the chat here and I'll see what you guys have to say. Sonic Forces says yes. Cringe-tastic says no. 761 says yes. Ben says no. Logan, yes. Jasmine, kind of. Austin says yes. I'm in middle school. Grayson says yes. Anns says no. Dark Tar says obviously yes. Malik says yes. Atlanta Boy says no. Oyo says yes. Herrers, H-R-A-I-R-Z, Herrers 69 says yes. Ben says no. Majin says no. Ryan says yes. We got a balance of yeses and no's here. Guys, share your opinions in the chat if you haven't already so we can see which side is weighing more right now. Jalen says no, not really, I don't think. Phoenix says yeah. Ethan says yes, but not formally. Ben says no again. Grayson says yes. Nigel says yes. Ann says no, never. Jeremiah, yes. Let's see. Suleiman says, I waited almost a year before opening up. I hear you on that, Suleiman. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. Jasmine says no. Dono says yes. Emma says never. Elliot says yes. So some of you have been friend zoned, some of you haven't. For those of you that have, you can relate. Let me take off the chat ball here. For those of you that have, you can relate. You know what it's like. It's a sucky feeling. For those of you that haven't been friend zoned, well, I'll explain to you what that feels like. To get friend zoned by someone is to have deep feelings for someone, to want to be with someone, whether you want them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you like them, or you want to spend time around them, and you want to build a romantic relationship with them, but they just don't see that as a possibility with you. They see you as a brother or a sister. They see you as a friend, but they can't even imagine dating you. It just seems too awkward or weird, and it just makes, they don't want to have anything to do with it. Now, it's a hurtful feeling. Now, are they doing something wrong by friend zoning you? No. That's something I talked about in my video that I posted on Tuesday, that a lot of times we get upset with the person that puts us in the friend zone. We get angry with them. We feel like they're not giving us a fair chance, or they're not being nice to us, or they're not respecting our feelings. But the truth is, all they're doing is expressing their own feelings. And as much as it hurts to be on the receiving end, to get friend zoned, it's important to respect that that person is making a choice for themselves. They personally don't want to pursue you romantically. Now, if you want to make sure that you don't run into that awkward, sad scenario right from the get-go, here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to walk you through these 4 steps. Like I said, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video. Let's get into the first step here. The first step, the first thing you are going to want to think about is don't hide your feelings from your crush. This is something that I was mentioning briefly before, and I'll kind of really hit this point home, guys, that a lot of people tend to hide how they feel around their crush because they're afraid they're going to push them away. They're afraid they're going to say something that makes things awkward. But by hiding your feelings, all you're really doing is creating a scenario that's not really how you feel. So let me kind of break that down and explain that a little bit more here. In creating a scenario that's not really how you feel, what you're doing is you're leading that person on to believe that you only want a friendship with them. Sometimes you might even accidentally say, oh no, I just see you as a friend, and that's it, because you're afraid that if you lead them on to think that you want a romantic relationship or anything like that, that they're going to turn away. And sometimes the fear of losing someone from your life is a stronger fear than the idea of actually approaching them and asking them out. Sometimes you're more afraid to lose them than you are to take a chance. So I think it's incredibly important to realize that you should not hide how you feel from your crush. Now, I need to break that down a little bit, because I think that when people hear that, oh, don't hide how I feel, I'm just going to tell my crush that I like him. Well, I don't think that's the right approach. I think that when I talk about not hiding your feelings, I mean in demonstrating and showing how you feel, not so much telling someone how you feel. Because let's say you meet someone for the first time and you're talking to them and you just tell them, oh, I have a crush on you, I like you. Yeah, they may be thrown off because they don't know you that well. They may feel like, who is this person? Why are they asking me out? Why do they like me? I don't really know them that well. So you definitely want to build some level of friendship with them, but you want to make sure that the interactions that you have with them rests on the basis of you flirting with them, talking to them, and eventually you asking them out. That should be where your mindset should be. Your focus should be on that. If you find yourself kind of really hiding how you feel or making up some scenario like, oh no, we're just friends, you're like a sister to me, you're like a brother to me, making that up just so that you throw them off guard, you're only hurting yourself. Now, I want to jump into the chat and hear what you guys have to say. I want to know what you guys think about that point of not hiding how you feel. I want to hear what you guys have to say. 761 says, I highly agree with that, Josh. Yeah, 761, I think it's an important point to really drive home. A lot of people do things out of fear. They operate out of fear rather than out of confidence. And I want to help you guys build that confidence in yourself. And we're going to work through how to do that. Imani says way too many times to count. So Imani, you've probably been in that situation before, where you like someone, you're afraid you're going to push them away. Feelings can be confusing and you may not know how to always handle them or deal with them in that moment. Rage Master says, I've never been friend zoned because I haven't asked anyone out on a date ever. So Rage Master, I hear where you're coming from on that. It takes time to work up the courage to ask someone out on a date. So I think that, the chance of you getting friend zoned when you haven't really approached anyone romantically, it's not going to be there. But I think sometimes, though, when you do develop feelings for someone, they can be a bit overwhelming. You can like them so much that you're afraid to approach them, but it's in that hesitating and waiting and just taking your time that the other person, the person that you like here, starts to feel like, does this person like me? If they like me, how come they haven't approached me or talked to me? So your crush in this scenario starts to develop their own story. And the story they're developing for themselves is, this person clearly doesn't like me because they're not talking to me, they're not asking me out, they're not flirting with me, they're not building anything on a romantic level with me. Jalen says, hey Josh, I talked to my crush today. Good thing is her boyfriend is not at school today. I told her I was scared of her boyfriend and she said, don't be scared. What do you think she meant? So Jalen, I hear where you're coming from on that. I think that first, because your crush has a boyfriend, you may want to keep that in mind here. I'm not a big advocate of like approaching and talking to girls and asking out girls that have boyfriends, mainly because I believe you should respect people's relationships and their choices to be in them. But Jalen, if you want to develop a friendship with your crush, then I think that's totally fine. But you have to remember that if you're going into that situation with developing a friendship and that's all you want in the equation, then chances are she's probably not going to turn around and tell you that she likes you, one, because she has a boyfriend, and two, because she's building that friendship with you. So I think when she said that don't be scared of her boyfriend, what she basically meant was that she doesn't want you to feel threatened to the point where you don't talk to her. She wants you to feel comfortable talking to her. Now, that may be a sign that she sees you as a solid friend. Logan says, I'm in middle school. I must have missed Logan's question. Logan, if you want to ask a question again, and I'll try to piece together what was going on. I see a lot of you guys sharing your stories and experiences here in the chat. Keep doing that. Keep it going, guys. I appreciate it. Oh man, I forgot what my own buttons are. I appreciate what you guys share, because here's something that's important that I've learned over the years. It's that in sharing our stories with other people, we start to realize that we're not alone, that people have similar experiences to us, and that it's important to share that because you can help someone else on the other end. That's why I do a lot of videos where I talk about my own personal experiences and stories, because I want you guys to realize, hey, you're not alone. I've been through a lot of these things too, and I want to share my experiences and what I learned. I want to jump and see what some of you guys are saying. I'm going to read some of the comments here, but if you have a burning question, a question that I don't get to answer, or maybe I overlook it or skip it in the chat, you can always use the super chat function. So I call them burning questions, and basically what that means to me is that you have something on your mind that you need to talk to me about, like immediately. You need my answer right now, front and center. You can always click the little dollar sign down below, right next to the chat window. You can donate $1, $2, whatever the super chat thing is, and it'll put that question front and center right in front of me. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll answer your question. So that's always an option for you there. Also, if you want to just donate $1 or $2 just to say thank you, Josh, for all you've done, that's an option as well. But moving back into it, guys, I want to see what some of you guys are saying here. 761 says, we can act flirty and act like friends as well. We're building our friendship at the moment. She also said she wants to focus on ourselves, so I'm playing it safe. Yeah, I hear you on that. So look, I'm not saying don't build a friendship. It's wrong to be friends with your crush. But I think that you need to kind of always be working towards the steps of some kind of a relationship with them. Meaning, you can talk to them, you can learn about them, and I advise that. I think that's a good thing. Learn about their hobbies, learn about their interests, talk to them about your own stories and your own experiences. But do that with the intention of eventually asking them out, and try to make that sooner rather than later, because the longer you wait, the more the more of a chance there is that they may eventually turn around and feel like, hey, wow, we've gotten so close as friends, I don't really want to build anything with you. Hamish says, Josh is live in 38 minutes. I can't wait. I'm super pumped. I'm live right now. Okay, Atlanta Boy says, it hasn't happened to me personally, but I know some girls that I think that would do that sort of thing for attention. Oh, he's responding to Phoenix. Phoenix says, I don't think the vast majority of girls definitely do that. Well, I need to know what that is. Okay, here, Atlanta Boy says, do some girls get greedy and want you to talk to them just so they can reject you? I feel like that's a common narrative. Good point, Atlanta Boy. Let me try to break that down, at least from my perspective. Like they want a guy to talk to so they can ignore them, basically because it brings them pleasure. So let me kind of break down what you may be feeling, and you can kind of share your own opinion as well. I think that people in general enjoy when people are paying attention to them, are listening to them, are acknowledging them. To some degree, I think we all like a bit of attention, right? Like we want people to care about us and care about the things that we care about, right? Like we want people to share that and express that. And I think what may happen sometimes is this, is that when you have a crush on someone, when you like someone and the crush knows that you like them, it feels good. It feels good to know, wow, this person likes me. This person thinks I'm cute. Wow, this person wants to talk to me. It's a good feeling. And I think what happens sometimes, and I guess in your case, is that you may have encountered girls that will talk to you, will give you the time of day, will, like flirt with you even, only for them to turn around and go, whoa, I wasn't doing anything. I was just talking to you. And it can be confusing for you. It can make you feel like, why are they flirting with me? Why are they talking to me if they don't want to pursue anything? Like, why would they do that and waste my time and run me through the ringer and everything like that? And I think a lot of it does come down to this. It's that things aren't clear and defined sometimes. And part of that falls on you, the person who likes the person, and part of that falls on them. So if you feel like there's a girl, or in some cases here for the girls in here, or anyone, if there's a guy you like, girl or guy here, that you feel is giving mixed signals, is kind of leading you on, is flirting with you, and it's leading you to believe that maybe they like you, but you're not really sure, it's up to you to determine that. And the best way to determine that is to ask them out directly. Now, as to why they're giving you those mixed signals, like I said, some people may need more attention than others. They may really enjoy that attention. And some people are a little bit more humble and they feel like, okay, I don't need to get all this attention from people. I could just be straight with them. If you keep finding yourself in a situation where the people you're attracted to are the ones that need a lot of attention, then you have to ask yourself, am I being clear? Am I being straight with them? Am I being honest with them in how I kind of approach them and talk to them? Dono says, wait, you're live? I'm live. I'm live right now. The username doesn't show. Do you believe homosexuality is okay? Yeah, I mean, what would it be okay about it? It's like, to be in a relationship with someone, I think means to have attraction for them, to want to spend time with them, to want to get to know them. And I think people of all kinds love each other and are interested in each other, right? I think that generally we just can develop attractions for anyone, right? We see someone and we're attracted to the way that they tell jokes. We're attracted to the way that they look. We're attracted to their interests and their hobbies. And, we can develop that attraction for so many people. And it's important to just realize that no one is limited or, boxed into, I think, one particular type of lifestyle. We're all so unique in different ways. Dono sent a $2 super chat. Dono, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He used the Josh drinking water emojis. And in honor of that, I'll take a sip of water here. So Dono said, join the Discord. Dono, thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it. And I'll pop up the Discord right here, guys. So in case you don't know, we have a Discord community. I think it's such a fun and awesome community to be a part of. All you got to do is download Discord, join our server there. There's just an awesome group of people there that are willing to help you out, that are willing to talk to you about what's going on in your life. It's a great place to share your stories and your experiences. There's lots of memes of me in there. Me as Captain America, and there's a lot of Thanos memes. There's a lot going on in there. It's just a fun chat, fun place to be. So I would highly, highly recommend joining the Discord. The URL for that is right there. Head to the Discord, guys. Dono is one of the mods in there, and he does a fantastic job of really helping keeping the conversation flow. And he brings a lot to the table. He makes tons and tons of emojis for us. So Dono, hats off to you, my friend. Hats off to you, man. So thank you for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate it. Okay, I want to move into the second point here, and I'm going to jump back in and answer some more questions, guys. So the second step that you need to know is this. Leave a bit of mystery between you two. Leave a bit of mystery. I should have said between the two of you. Leave a bit of mystery between you two. Now, when I talk about leaving a bit of mystery, what I mean is this. If you are constantly sharing things with your crush and telling them everything there is to know about them, about yourself, and always around them 24/7, always talking to them, well, then they're going to feel like they know everything there is already to know about you. And I think that if you leave a bit of mystery there, it allows your crush to kind of ask questions, to think to themselves, well, why doesn't that person message me all the time? Why doesn't that person always talk to me? Like, what's going on in their life? What are they about? You want to create that element of mystery, and I think by doing that, you're then going to create a scenario where your crush is going to want to learn more about you. So a big part of it is sharing more about yourself, but also leaving a little bit there for them to figure out. So here's an example of kind of leaving mystery between the two of you. So one thing you may want to think about doing is this. You may want to talk to your crush about what one of your hobbies is. Let's say you're a gamer and you love playing Fortnite, and you tell them all the time, yeah, I love playing Fortnite. What games do you play? And they talk about the video games they play. And then they ask you, like, what's your favorite game of all time? And you may want to say something like, "Whoa, I can't tell you that. It's a very personal game to me and stuff. But tell you what, I'll tell you a little bit later once I get to know you better." Like even something like that, you've created an element of mystery. What is your favorite game? Why is it so secretive? Why can't you tell me? And now your crush is going to be intrigued and curious as to what you have to share. So even something simple like that creates an element of mystery. And by doing that with your crush, you're going to work away from being in the friend zone because you are going to essentially, you're setting it up so that your crush wants to learn about you rather than, oh, I know everything there is to know about them. There's nothing special or unique or, that I don't know about them. And, you're not as open of a book as maybe someone who's her close friend or his close friend. So, think about the type of relationships you have with your friends. You guys know everything there is to know about each other, right? But you don't always know everything there is to know about your crush. And that's where you want to keep it. So I want to jump in and answer some of the questions here, see what you guys are talking about here in the chat. Dark Tar says, I love the Josh Speaks Discord server. Highly recommend. Thank you, Dark Tar. And once again, Donald, thank you so much for sharing it for the $2 super chat. Speedy Gonzalez says, be direct with the woman, no girlfriend, no friends. With this woman, no girlfriend, no friends. So I think what you're saying is be direct with her. Don't use her friends as the way to get through to her. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But I think in some cases realistically, it's important to get to know your crush's friends. That could be your in there, but ultimately you do want to talk to your crush directly because it's that direct communication that's really going to help them start to kind of feel like you two are developing that connection together. So building that element of mystery is going to allow them to kind of now pull and push and get to know you more. So don't always share everything there's to know or take something that's special to you and turn that into something mysterious. Like I said with the video game example, you may want to say, oh man, I have a really important story. Let's say you're telling them a fun story and they're like, oh, what happened? What happened to you growing up? And you're like, listen, I need to get to know you a little bit better before I tell you that story. Like even little things like that are going to build that element of mystery. They're going to feel like, wow, what's behind the curtain? I want to know. So you're going to build intrigue and build interest there. I want to hear what some of you guys have to say here. Let's see. Atlanta Boy says, I kind of get offended when someone questions my straightness based on my beliefs. Oh, I hear you on that, Atlanta Boy. So a lot of people probably think because you're conservative that maybe automatically you're heterosexual, right? A lot of people, I think, tend to take political ideologies and identities and kind of add all these other group characteristics to it. People do that a lot all the time. And we do that with everything, right? Like if you hear someone is a surfer, you might think, oh, they might have long hair, or I don't know, they live in California or something like that, right? Like we tend to group characteristics together. It's not always the best thing to do. And I think sometimes it creates a limited perspective for us. So I see where you're coming from on that. Okay, answer some more questions. Drew Orr says, my crush is in 2 of my classes. Oh, jumped. My crush is in 2 of my classes this semester. I have at least 1 or maybe 2 mutual friends. How can I build something outside of the classroom? Good point, Drew. So if your crush is in 2 of your classes this semester, I think that's going to be one of your ins, right? So you want to look at it like this, that you have this shared space with your crush. You both are part of the same class. So talking to your crush about that class, that experience, what you're doing in that class is going to help bring you a little bit closer to them, because it's not weird at all to go to someone that's in your college class and to be like, hey, what's your major? Like, what do you think of this class so far? What other classes are you taking? Or what are you going to take next semester? There's nothing weird at all about that, especially in a college environment. I think that's something I want each of you guys to know. In a college setting, there's nothing weird at all with approaching people and talking about what major are you taking, what classes have you taken, is this class hard, is that class hard? I remember when I was in college, I'd have random conversations with other students all the time like that. And I didn't think it was weird. I was like, yeah, that makes sense, right? We're all in this college environment together. We're having this shared experience of the same class, and that's just kind of how it works. So you're asking, how do you start that conversation with her? How do you take things outside of class? I have at least 2 mutual friends. So because you have mutual friends with her, what you should definitely try doing, Drew, is talking to her and saying, hey, I'm trying to get a study group going together in college, people in the same class, or you and your friends, your mutual friends and her, and say, I'm trying to get a study group going together. Would you like to be a part of it? Chances are she might be interested in that. So that might be a good way to kind of start building things outside of class, but you're still using class as the reason for talking to her. So I would try taking that approach. Sam Buddha says, hey man, I just got a girlfriend and I need advice on what to do and stuff. I'm in the 7th grade. I would really appreciate it. Look, Sam Buddha, since you just got a girlfriend here, I think something that's important to know is this. It's important to take the time to learn about your girlfriend. A lot of times when people, especially in the 7th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade, they tend to jump into a relationship without really knowing much about their partner. And then you run into these situations where things are awkward or you feel nervous being around them one-on-one. The best way to kind of ease those nervous feelings and to help build your relationship with them is to take time to learn about them. So take time to learn about your new girlfriend. I think that you'll discover new things that you didn't know about her before, and it'll help bring you guys closer together. Chris says, me and my friend like the same girl. We told her we have feelings for her a week ago, and she didn't really say much. It's been awkward. Any advice? I really like her. Yeah, Chris, that's going to be tough. You and your friend have to decide here who's really going to be the first person to kind of pursue her. If it seems like you're the first person, maybe you liked her first and you told your friend, or if your friend liked her first, whoever it is should probably have the first opportunity to talk to her and get to know her better, and the other one should kind of respect that. If it's weird and it's awkward, I hear you on that. It's always going to be weird when there's 3 people involved there and you don't know who's doing what there. But ultimately, like I said, decide between you and your friend who's going to pursue her first, and then let that person, whether it's you or your friend, be the one that continues to talk to her. Hamish says, my autism kills my confidence. And then Amani responded, Hamish, people on the spectrum date. Absolutely, Hamish. I get where you're coming from on that. If you're someone that's on the spectrum, it can feel weird sometimes. You may feel like people don't understand you, or it's hard for you to connect to other people, or, you just don't want to be in a situation where you're going to feel disadvantaged approaching someone. And sometimes approaching someone, you don't know what to expect. Maybe the conversation is going to be weird. Maybe they're going to say something that you don't know how to respond to. There's a lot of factors that are out of your control. But I think the important thing to know, Hamish, is that just like Amani said, people on the spectrum date. There are so many people that are on the spectrum that have relationships and have families and meet people. And, it isn't to say that it's easy. I understand there are challenges that come with it, but it is possible. I want you to totally understand, Hamish, that is 100% possible. Like we were talking about earlier, in case, and for any of you guys that don't know, Hamish is one of my patrons. So I'll put up the little patron thing here and let you guys know. Every single month, I talk with my champion level patrons. We have a one-on-one conversation, and usually through a video chat, and we just kind of catch up. We fill each other in on what's going on. They fill me in on what's going on in their lives. I kind of give my own advice and perspective. It's a good way to kind of communicate with me one-on-one directly. So if you're someone that wants to have that one-on-one connection where you can, have me kind of, coach you every single month, give you kind of a game plan, talk about what's going on in your life, and help you through that, Patreon is the best way to do that. You can also become a YouTube channel member. When you become a YouTube channel member, you'll get access to those little emoji icons right there. You can use them in the chat. If you've noticed, Dono the Gamer is someone who's been using them, so that's pretty cool. So either hit the join button down below, right next to the subscribe button on YouTube here, or head over to patreon.com/thejoshspeaks so you can become a patron and learn more all about the opportunities there. There are 3 different tier levels. So the champion level is one. There's a community level, and there's a supporter level. So check those out, guys. So let's jump in. I want to jump to the third point here so I can have a little bit more time for questions. So, by the way, like I said, if you guys haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video. I got to get that like button working. I'm going to test it out and see. I don't know if it's fully working right now. Let's see. So when I press like, see the chat's showing, but I just got to fix it. I got to make the chat a little bigger. So either way, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button, guys. I truly, truly appreciate having you guys in here. I got to fix around the colors. But either way, it seems to be working there. I'll get it working better next time. So let's jump back in. So let's get to the third point here, guys. The third step that you're going to want to take to prevent you from falling into the friend zone. Don't take on the partner role. This is a mistake that I made all the time when it came to girls that I liked and getting to know them better. I took on this partner role. So what does it mean to be a partner? Well, a partner could be synonymous for pretending to be the boyfriend or pretending to be the girlfriend or pretending to be the brother or sister of that person. By taking on the partner role, what you're doing is you're establishing that the type of relationship and connection you want with that person is the type of relationship has all the perks of being a boyfriend or girlfriend, but none of the other perks of actually having a romantic physical relationship with them. So when people take on the partner role, essentially what they're doing is they're letting their crush know flat out, hey, I'll be there to talk to you when you want to talk about what's going on in your life. I'll walk you to class. I'll help you around your house. I'll get to know your family, but we're not going to actually be in a relationship. So this is to what I believe it was Atlanta Boy. I forgot who said it earlier. Was alluding to that. Sometimes you feel like people are leading you on and you feel like, oh, why do they want all this attention? Like they're flirting with me and talking to me so that I can do things for them, but they don't want to be in a relationship with me. So I'll tell you guys a quick story about that. Atlanta Boy says, I'm a heterosexual. I think you interpreted my comment wrong, but it's okay. Oh, I hear you on that, Atlanta Boy. But I hope you understand my point on that, Atlanta Boy. It's that people tend to kind of say you're X, therefore you're Y, Z, Q, P, all the different variables. We tend to group everything in together, but you understand my point. So like I was saying, taking on the partner role, I'll tell you guys a quick story about that. But before I do that, I want to ask, we'll do another chat poll here. I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Have you ever taken on that partner role with your crush? Whether it's being that really, really good friend and always being there for them, and then thinking, hey, if I continue to kind of really be their best friend, then maybe, just maybe, they're going to turn around and want to date me. Have you ever been in that position? Have you ever done that before? Because I know I have. I'm going to tell you guys a story, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know what your guys' experiences with that. Because, man, for me, it was not a fun experience. I remember trying so hard to really get my crush to care about me and to like me the way I liked her. So I did everything for her. I walked her to class. I helped carry her books. I talked to her on the phone for hours every night. Like I did so much for her, thinking that the more I acted like a best friend, the more she would eventually like me. So just going back to the question I asked you guys, have you ever taken on that role of being the best friend just to get your crush to pay attention to you or to talk to you? Here's what you guys had to say. Sonic says no. Train says no. Lord says yes, and I got friend zoned. Yep, usually taking on that role goes hand in hand with getting friend zoned. And I'll tell you guys why in a second. Emma Peterson says yes. Jeremiah says yes, kind of. Amani says, Hamish, I didn't see what you said. Sorry. Oh, okay. Hamish and Amani are talking. Dark Tar says, yes, I have. It kind of sucks. I told my crush that she can talk to me whenever. Jaden says, I have at one point. Sam says, I have, but did genuinely want to be there for them. Yeah, and Sam, this is the tricky and confusing part, and I'll kind of break that down too. Venti says, yep, and it worked. Hey, Venti, sometimes it does work. Sometimes being there, taking on the best friend role, sometimes your crush does turn around. I'm not saying it's like 100% this is what's going to happen, but from my experience in most cases, if your crush starts to see that you're willing to take on that role and do those things without needing to be in a relationship, there's no reason for them to solidify things and make it a relationship. Drew says, probably at this point, but not this one. Yeah, I hear you on that, Drew. Sonic says no. Phoenix says nah. I ask out too quickly for that to happen. Don't want to get friend zoned. I hear you on that, Phoenix. Hamish says no, because I don't have a crush yet. I hear you, Hamish. Anthony says, let's see. Jeremiah says, I literally asked a girl to go to my church. I hear you on that. I get that, man. Sam says, hey, Josh, I'm going on my first date next week, and I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Sam, let me help you with that. So if you're going on your first date, I think that I don't know if you already know what you guys are doing or have your plans set, but make that first date experience as casual and relaxed as possible. Don't think to yourself, oh, this has to be a super romantic date. We need to go have dinner and a movie. And just think, what's something simple we can do together? Maybe go for a walk. Maybe it's watch a movie. Maybe it's hang out together. Maybe it's, do something very simple. Go grab food or coffee or ice cream or something together just to talk. That first date really is supposed to be about you seeing how you connect with that other person and really nothing more. It's not supposed to be the super romantic experience. It's just supposed to say, hey, do I connect with this person? Do we get each other? Do we like spending time with each other? So make that the focus rather than like, all right, I need to impress them and they need to like me a lot. That can come on the second and third and fourth date. But make that first date just your own vetting process where you're asking yourself, do I connect with this person? Do we get along there? But going back to this idea of being the partner or best friend of your crush, thinking that you're going to get them to like you. What I did in high school was, there was a girl that I liked, and I've talked about this story before, where, like I said, I'd walk her to class. I'd talk to her on the phone for hours every night. There was a point when, and you guys are young, so you may not remember this, but when AOL was kind of like the internet, it's what we used AOL at the time. You had to what's it called? Parents kind of would monitor your AOL account stuff. So for my crush in high school, her mom blocked her from going on AOL because she got angry with her. Something happened with that. But she wasn't allowed to go on her AOL account. So she had asked me, she's like, hey, can I go on your account so I can go search the web? So she did. Now, I would let her go on my account to go to a website to flirt with other guys and talk to other guys. And the whole time I just kind of sat there thinking, well, yeah, maybe she'll turn around and she'll realize, wow, Josh is really a really good guy and I like him. And then it never happened. All in all, what ended up happening was she saw that, hey, he's a friend to me. He's doing friendly things. He's just being helpful, but I don't like him. And she kind of took advantage of that because why not, right? I was allowing her to do that. I wasn't standing up for myself. So if you fall into that role where you find yourself doing things just to keep your crush's interest in you as a friend, just so that they'll talk to you, just so that they'll look at you and acknowledge you, if you're only doing things for that specific reason, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to be friend zoned. And that was something that I experienced hardcore. Donald says, what is AOL? I know, right? I feel weird talking about it. AOL and Instant Messenger back in my day, but essentially that's what it was. All right, I want to jump in and see what some of you guys are saying here. Grayson says, Josh, should I wait until high school to get a girlfriend? Grayson, that's a good question. I think that when you choose to get a girlfriend, when you choose to start a relationship, ultimately is up to you, right? It can happen in middle school, it can happen in high school, it can happen in college. It really comes down to, do you feel ready and capable to maintain a relationship? For some people, when they're in high school, they feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm ready to maintain a relationship. I think it's possible. For other people, they feel like, you know what, I just want to focus on schoolwork. I want to hang out with friends. I don't want to deal with the drama of a relationship. So it all comes down to when you feel comfortable enough to start that relationship. I personally would say that if in high school you're curious about having a girlfriend or learning more about it, go for it. I think that you shouldn't allow that to hold you back, the fear of like what's going to be like, because it could just be a learning experience. Remember, you can get into a relationship with someone in high school and it doesn't have to be super, super serious, even if you date them for a week or a month or whatever it is. A lot of high school relationships don't last super long, so it could just be a good way for you to experiment and learn more about yourself. Let's see what some more of you guys are saying in here. Anthony says, just do it. Nothing is impossible. Oh, man. I got to memorize that whole Shia LaBeouf thing. AOL stands for America Online. Yes, for those of you guys that know, AOL stands for America Online. It was how you access the internet pretty much like 20 years ago, whatever it was. I don't even know at this point. Let's see. Red Razor says, hey Josh, my crush talks about her feelings more to me than to her boyfriend. Yeah, Red Razor, that's the type of behavior that I'm talking about being the partner of your friend or pretending to be the partner. If your crush is talking to you more about her feelings, but she has a boyfriend, then that means that the thing that she's gaining from you is that kind of boyfriend piece. Now, look, I'm not saying that it's wrong for you to hear your crush out, to want to be close to them. I think that it's important. If you like someone, even if you like them and you're their friend, it's important to be there for them, to be a friend, to if they're struggling or they're dealing with something, to be there and hear them out. But you have to think to yourself, why is it that she can talk to me more or connect with me more, but can't do that with her boyfriend? Why is she then dating him and not me? That's the question I think you need to pose for yourself. And if you don't really know the answer, and if you're telling yourself, well, she wants to date me, but she's dating him, well, then that's important to really, really think about that and to ask why that's happening. Hold on a second. All right, let's jump into the final point here. Let's move into the next point. Hold on a second. My mom just messaged me. I'm just reading it. Oh, everything's fine. Okay. I want to answer some more of you guys' questions. Let's get that in before I move into the final point here, the fourth point, the fourth step you need to focus on. But I hope some of this is resonating with you guys. If it is, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know. if you guys see, hey, you know what? There are certain things that maybe I want to change about my behavior, certain things I want to improve, certain things I want to think more about. That's what I really want to do. I want to spark that level of interest for you guys. I want you guys to think a little bit more deeply about how you're interacting with your crush, how you're displaying, yourself in front of them. So let's jump in and answer some more questions here. I am Neo says, I actually told this girl I like her, and she said she doesn't feel the same for me. Hold on, let me reread that. I actually told this girl I like her, and she said she doesn't feel the same for me. After that, whenever we bump into each other, she always feels excited and smiles on seeing me. Josh, what do you think? That's a good question, Neo. It sounds to me like you're getting mixed signals, right? She told you she doesn't like you, but she still talks to you, maybe flirts with you, jokes around with you. You still have that type of relationship. And you might be thinking, why? Why does she do that? Well, it means that she's established that she doesn't want to be in a relationship, but she still enjoys the attention and the comfort of talking to you. Now, what it all comes down to is for you, Neo, what you feel comfortable with. Are you okay with just being friends? Are you okay with are you okay with just being friends? And are you okay with just taking time to be in that role where, hey, I'm going to flirt with her and joke with her, but she doesn't want anything from me. So you have to balance that and see what you feel comfortable with. All right, let's answer some more questions here. All right, Sam Leach says, so glad you're still here, Hamish. Stay strong. Yeah, Hamish. I have depression 2 months ago. Let's just say I almost ended everything. I'm so lucky to be alive. Hamish, we are so lucky to have you in this community. I'm so happy that you, one, are okay talking about your feelings and what you're experiencing. And two, I'm happy that hopefully you found this community to be helpful in your own growth and your own journey through life. Because it's scary sometimes. We don't know, how to handle our feelings or how to talk about our feelings or even what to do about our feelings. But knowing that there are people out there that want to help us, knowing that that's always an option, that there's always a way through, I think is so, so important to remember. Azim, good to see you, man. Azim says, hey, Josh, I have a crush I want to ask out before Valentine's Day. But my family is planning a trip out of town over that weekend, so I can celebrate Valentine's Day a day or two early. Let me reread that. I have a crush I want to ask out before Valentine's Day, but my family is planning a trip, out of town over the weekend, so I can celebrate Valentine's Day a day or two early. Yeah, Azim, here's the thing. If you're not going to be around for the actual Valentine's Day, there's nothing wrong with asking your crush out, saying, listen, I'm not going to be around for Valentine's Day, but I want to hang out with you. So we'll have like a pre-Valentine's Day kind of hangout. I don't think that's weird at all. I think that's actually kind of fun. It kind of throws things off, and throwing things off kind of makes it more interesting. It's like, okay, typical Valentine's Day thing. But by you doing it early, by changing it up a little bit, they may not know what to expect, and it might be a little bit more fun. So definitely try to take that approach. I think that might help you and make it a little bit easier to kind of, really think about, okay, well, like what can I do with her? What can we do together and stuff? Try to really get that question focused in your mind. Okay, let's see. Neo responded, nah, I actually told her it'll be difficult for we both to be friends and she's aware. Neo, that's exactly my point there. If you don't feel comfortable with it, as you said, it's like sometimes it's important to be straight and say, look, I'm not cool with just being friends. I like you, and I think that we should probably take some time apart. I think that's probably the best thing to do for yourself because you give yourself that peace of mind that you desperately, desperately need in that moment. Okay, let's jump into the fourth point here, guys. I want to jump into the fourth point, and then I want to answer some questions. I really want to get down to those questions, guys. So the fourth way to prevent getting friend zoned at the start, as soon as you meet your crush, as soon as you're talking to them, right when you first meet them, is to pursue multiple crushes. Now, what does it mean to pursue multiple crushes? Well, if you're only going after one person, if you only like one person, if they're the only person on your mind, then it's going to be easy to develop what I call one-itis. One-itis means that you are essentially obsessed with that crush. Like you think about them constantly. You want to be with them so badly that you're willing to kind of forget about school, forget about friends, and just sacrifice your own personal happiness just to try to win them over. But when you pursue multiple crushes, that doesn't happen. You start to realize, hey, you know what? It's possible for me to find someone else that's not this one person. It's possible for me to connect with someone else beyond this one person. You start to open up the doors and open up your eyes a little bit more, and you really start to see, hey, it's possible for me to actually get a girlfriend or boyfriend and to not get friend zoned. But it all comes down to me pursuing multiple people. And here's the beauty about pursuing multiple people. In doing that, in pursuing multiple people, your crush is also going to see that they don't have a hold on you. You're not just doing whatever they say or doing whatever they want. You're standing up for yourself and you're doing your own thing. And that's going to be super, super important to prevent you from getting friend zoned. I remember for myself, when I got friend zoned, there was only one girl that I was pursuing and one girl that I was talking to all the time. So because I was doing that, I think she just realized, okay, Josh is going to do whatever I say. He's going to always follow me. Like, there's nothing interesting about that. And had I been pursuing multiple people, first off, I would have been working on my flirting skills because I would have had multiple people to flirt and talk to. And then second, it's like I would have felt like, hey, if I choose my crush, then I'm choosing them. I'm not just infatuated with them, hoping that they like me back. I've made the choice to be with them if it comes down to that. Now, Trevor Thompson asks a really good question. If you pursue multiple crushes, will your main crush lose interest in you? And here's the thing, Trevor. You want your main crush to be interested in you enough that you want to ask them out or that they ask you out. That's how interested you want them to be. If you feel like you're only talking to your crush and they're kind of giving you mixed signals and they're not really interacting with you, you really like them, but they're not kind of responding in a way that you want, and you tell yourself, you know what? I'm not going to talk to anyone else. I'm not going to pursue anyone else because maybe, just maybe, they're going to like me enough. You're shooting yourself down a rabbit hole you're never going to get to because you're hoping and waiting for someone else to make the choice for you. I don't think that you'll push away your crush if you're pursuing multiple people. I think that what your crush will see is that if your crush really likes you, then they're going to want to talk to you more. They're going to want to interact with you more. If they don't really like you, then they're probably going to fall off. But that's a good thing if they do, because you save yourself the time and you don't end up wasting your time pursuing someone who doesn't really want to be serious with you. How come every live stream we got conversations about Trump and Obama in here? How did they make their way into every live stream? We're talking about friend zoning. Here we are. Obama lied. Trump this. We got to have a politics conversation, guys. I'm definitely going to do a politics live stream sometime in the future. So stay tuned for that. I mentioned, I think Atlanta Boy wanted me to do that in the past. He's like, Josh, when is it going to happen? It's going to happen at some point. Trust me on that. Okay, let's jump on to the next one here. The next question. So I'm going to answer some more of you guys' questions, but I want to ask you guys. We'll do a chat poll here. Let's get a chat poll going. Let me click the chat poll button. Going off of that fourth point that I talked about, I want to know: are you guys pursuing multiple people? And when I say pursuing, I mean, do you have multiple crushes that are on your mind that you're thinking about talking to and getting to know? Not like you're asking each of them out just yet, but you're just taking the time to think, you know what? I like that girl. I like that guy. I like this person, that person. You're thinking about multiple people that you may like. Yes or no, guys? Answer in the live stream chat here. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know how many of you guys are just pursuing one crush and how many you're pursuing multiple crushes. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Cheesy Boy says, but lower taxes isn't better. Failing public service isn't worth paying a couple pounds less tax. Yeah, I think that taxation is an interesting conversation to have. A lot of people talk about lower taxes, but a lot of times it's not so much that we need to lower taxes, it's that we need to find a better way to manage how taxes are spent. So it's like, if I'm paying $10 for something and you say that's way too much money, how about you pay $9 for something? But we may want to say, no, we should pay $10, but we need to figure out how to better use those $10. Maybe $3 of those dollars are being wasted on something. So it's important to think about management rather than just minimizing. It's important to have that conversation. It's a deeper conversation than just this is right, that's wrong, but separate conversation. I want to know, are you guys pursuing multiple crushes? Let's see what you guys had to say. Sonic Forces says no. He should make a politics in a relationship. Drew, I have made a politics and relationship video. Check it out on my channel. I talk about what to do if what is it? The truth behind dating and politics. If you like someone that has a different political understanding than you, check that video out. But let's see. Amani says Phoenix, no. Red says no. S761 says no, I want to though. Phoenix says nah, I'm taken. I hear you on that, Phoenix. Fair enough. Ravage says I'm not even pursuing anyone. Michael Aurelio says no. Cheesy Boy says yeah. Sam Leach says no. Red Razor, no. Typhoon says, yes, trying my best to get over one-itis. I hear you on that, man. A lot of people have one-itis. They get so obsessed and absorbed with just thinking about their crush that it kind of throws them off balance. I hear where you're coming from on that. Let's see. No. Hamish says, yes and no. I'm in the maybe. I hear you on that. Amani says, Josh, can you say my announcement? Must have missed Amani's announcement. Nige says yes. Okay, so it looks like it's a Atlanta boy. Let's leave words like that outside of the live stream. We could talk about that in maybe the Discord, but not outside of the live stream, man. Anyway, so yeah, I think that there's a mix of people here that have feelings for multiple people or for one person. It's not as clear cut as you may always think it is. And I think, like I said, I want to walk through the 4 points again, the 4 steps that you should take. I want to kind of do a recap there, but I want to answer some more questions in here. Before I do that, though, I do want to tell you guys this. Right as soon as this live stream ends, we are going to do what I call my Instagram after parties. What's an Instagram after party? Well, I need you guys to go follow me over on Instagram. Once you follow me on Instagram at The Josh Speaks, wait, because I'm going to go live on Instagram right after this. I call it the after party because once we finish up this live stream, it's chill, it's relaxed. What's cool about the Instagram after parties is that I bring you guys on to talk to me. So I'll video chat with you guys there. If you wanted to talk to me one-on-one, that's the opportunity to do it. And let's say you don't want to go through Patreon and you don't have money to pay and stuff. Instagram is the free operation, free way to do that. So I think that that's a good way to kind of really think about it. Think about, hey, listen, I want to talk with Josh. I want to hang out with Josh. I want to talk to him on the Instagram after party. Come join me over there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time over there. Follow me on Instagram, guys, and I'll see you over there. But let's get back into it. I want to go through these 4 points again. I'm going to answer 2 more questions, and then I'm going to jump in and kind of give you guys the recap of the 4 steps here. So looking back at all the things we talked about here, preventing getting friend zoned at the start. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you feel like you have the necessary tools now to kind of go through and kind of manage your friend zone situation? So let's kind of look through the 4 points again. Let's do a recap and see. Step number 1, don't hide your feelings from your crush. A lot of times people are afraid to show their crush how they feel. So a lot of times they'll pretend like, no, we're just friends. I only see you as a friend. Or they will be shy around their crush, not ask them out, not do anything to rock the boat because there's a fear that your crush may not talk to you anymore, may not interact with you, may not like you. So don't hide your feelings from your crush. Show them how you feel by flirting with them, by talking to them, and by asking them out. Number 2, leave a bit of mystery between you two. Now, the importance of leaving mystery between you and your crush is that you're always creating space for them to learn more about you. If they know everything there is to know about you front and back, well, then it's not fun anymore. There's nothing new, nothing exciting there. So if you want to create that level of excitement where your crush is asking questions about you, is intrigued by you, wanting to learn about you, leave that mystery. An easy way to leave mystery is to kind of joke around with them and be like, tell you what, I'll tell you all about that later on. I need to get to know you a little bit better first. That's a good way to leave mystery and create that air between the two of you. Number 3, don't take on the partner role. So many guys and so many girls do this, that they think, well, I'm just going to be that person's best friend. By being their best friend, then maybe, just maybe, they're going to turn around and realize, wow, they're really cool and I want to date them. It rarely happens, guys. The truth of what really happens is that your crush will start to see that they can get the attention and care and all the things that you would get in a relationship from you without actually being in a relationship with you. A lot of guys get pulled through the ringer like this because they like a girl and they kind of become that girl's lapdog. Don't let that happen to yourself. You're better than that, It's important to be a good friend and a solid person in someone else's life. But if you feel like that person's treating you with all the responsibilities of being in a relationship with them, but it's not in a relationship with you, that's a red flag. You need to take care of that. And number 4, pursue multiple crushes. If you're talking to only one person, you might develop one-itis. And one-itis is simply being so focused and obsessed with one person that you're not willing to see or talk to anyone else. So many people kind of fall into this trap because they're not pursuing multiple crushes. If you are pursuing multiple crushes, if you're talking to different people, if you're getting to know people in your classes or wherever you live, at your job, in college, whatever it may be, If you're allowing yourself to do that, you're not going to become so focused on one person, and your crush is going to see that you have options, right? You're someone that can date around, and that's going to let your crush realize, wow, they don't only think about me. They're not only obsessed with me. There might actually be someone else they date, and your crush may want to step up and do something about that. So those are the 4 steps I think that you guys need to take if you want to prevent getting friend zoned at the start. If you meet your crush for the first time, if you're talking to them, if you're getting to know them, take these steps. These steps are going to help prevent you from falling into that deep friend zone. You'll be standing up for yourself. You'll be pursuing more people. You'll be really showcasing the fact that, you want to get to know this person, but you're not going to fall into their lap and just do whatever they want for you guys. That's going to be a key point I want you guys to focus on. So I want to jump in and ask you guys some more questions here. I want to see what some of you guys have to say. Hey, David Cope. David, good to see you in here, man. Thank you for all your kindness and praise for Australia. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, Australia has been hit hard. I know everyone here knows that and stuff. And, luckily there's been rain in Australia. It's helped put out the fires and stuff, but they still need a lot of help. There's still a lot of animals that are suffering. There's still a lot of people's homes that, had to be evacuated or have been damaged. It's still not as clear cut and easy. It's not like the problem's over. This is something that's going to take a long time to recover from. And to some degree, a lot of it's going to be, irreversible. And that's a sad state of affairs, sad event that are kind of, Australia's kind of experiencing there. So, David, happy to see you in here, man. And my prayers and thoughts are with you, man. Let's see. Jaden says, I have a gift for my crush. Should I give it to her on Valentine's Day? That's a good question, Jaden. I'm going to be talking about Valentine's Day in the next couple of weeks or so. But when it comes to giving your crush the gift for Valentine's Day, I think that it all really depends on where you stand with your crush. If you're close enough to them, if your crush is someone that you don't really talk to that often or don't really know that well, then I probably wouldn't advise giving them the gift, because what you're doing is you're kind of setting up a romantic gesture without building the pretense for romance there. I think before Valentine's Day comes around, before you give them that gift, start flirting with them now. Ask them to hang out. This is something so important, guys. I'm going to talk about this again in one of my videos when I do the Valentine's Day video, but before Valentine's Day comes, ask your crush to hang out before. If you can hang out once with your crush before Valentine's Day, then when Valentine's Day rolls around and you ask them out again for a second time, there's a higher likelihood that they're going to be open for it. If the first time you're asking them out is for Valentine's Day, that's a lot of pressure. People feel like, oh my God, Valentine's Day is so romantic and this, and what if they're this, what if that, like a million questions go through your mind. But if you do it before Valentine's Day, they don't have that same fear. So you can actually lower the nervousness of a Valentine's Day date by hanging out with them prior to that. That's something super important I want you guys to really know. I want to hear what some more you guys are saying. Hey, Azim, I answered that question earlier, so you might want to check out the replay. After this live stream, guys, I'm going to put up the timestamps so you can jump through where I talked on the video and what I talked about. I always put those up, so that'll be available for you. Let's see. Ryan Raison says, how would I pursue my crush because she sees me as a friend because I used to talk to her about girls? Yeah, Ryan, that's also a challenge too, because you may talk to your crush about other girls and your crush may feel like, okay, like he sees me as a friend. He's treating me like a friend. So you have created a friend zone for your crush. Well, how do you change that? Well, I think one way to go about changing it is how you speak to your crush. So you may want to turn around one day and look at your crush and go, there's something different about you. I don't know what it is. Something's different. I don't know. I like it. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know. I'm just really intrigued by that. And by doing that, you're breaking the frame. Now your crush is going to be like, whoa, he's looking at me in a different light. Does he like me? Does he not like me? And from that moment going forward, you have to flirt with your crush. You need to stop talking about other girls and just take time to learn about her. Be like, tell me more about yourself, though. Let's hang out with time. And you need to go like into maximum flirting mode from that moment on. All right, answer one more question, and then we're going to bring it to a close with the meditation bell, guys. All right, last question here. Yeah, Ricky says the rain has just arrived, but the fires are still bad. I could see them in the distance. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of challenges I think Australia is going through, and it ain't easy. I feel for you guys. Jack says, I got friend zoned today. Sorry to hear that, Jack. Hopefully, if you watch the replay of this video, you can take some useful tips on how to prevent it from happening in the future. All right, final question. Dark Tar Official says, my crush told me that I'm so sweet and she's opening up more, but she previously told me she sees me as a friend. Should I ask her out? So your crush told you that you're sweet and she's opening up more, but she's previously told you she sees you as a friend. Yeah. Dark Tar, that's a good question. It sounds to me like your crush is getting more comfortable talking to you, but because they said they see you as a friend, you might be setting yourself up to be friend zoned, right? It's hard to say exactly. I think the only way you're going to really figure out what's going on is if you talk to your crush, you start flirting with them more, and you start to kind of joke around with them in a way like, hey, we should hang out sometime. I really want to get to know you better. Now, as you start doing that, if your crush brings up again, hey, I only see you as a friend, then respect it. Understand that that's as far as they want to take it. Don't keep pushing it beyond that. But if they mentioned it in the past, but now they feel like they're opening up, it's possible that she may have viewed you as a friend, and that might be changing as she gets to know you better. Keep in mind, that's also a realistic possibility too, guys, that like your crush may see you as a friend initially, but upon getting to know you, that may change. So don't count yourself out until they tell you like, hey, I only see you as a friend. I only want a friendship. You have what it takes here. So keep pushing yourself forward, guys. Now, we're going to jump into the meditation moment here, guys. This mindful moment. In this last stream, we talked about how to prevent getting friend zoned at the start, at the very, very start when you're talking to someone, when you want to get to know them better. And I think the best way to kind of work towards preventing getting friend zoned is to be honest and open, and to be daring, and to be confident, and to kind of keep your options open for multiple people. But I want you guys to think about everything we talked about in this live stream. I want everyone in this room right now, everyone watching, to close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this mindful moment to hear the sound of the bell. And once we hear the sound of the bell, I want all of us to kind of take a deep breath in, to think about what we experienced here, the things we talked about. Think about how you can take the knowledge we've kind of talked about, the answers people have given, and apply it to your own life so you could move forward and prevent yourself from getting friend zoned, guys. Let's do that right now. 10 seconds of silence. To everyone watching, I hope this live stream has been super helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Come join me over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. I'm also going to link up some videos that you should definitely check out over there on the side. I think they'll be super helpful for you. Also, the playlist there too, in helping you avoid getting friend zoned. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this live stream, and I will catch you next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys next time. Bye.